Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the late evening show. It is an interesting episode today because we are stuck in a blizzard in New York City. Shout out to all my New York listeners, my New York viewers, my New York watchers, I guess you can say. That sounds a little stalkerish, but yeah, man, to anybody out here in the NYC area, Connecticut, New Jersey, we're fucked. You know how this shit is, man. This is the Blizzard pod right now. I've honestly I've gotten prepared for it. I have a mountain of toilet paper outside of the camera shot. I got everything I need. I got my booze, right? It's gonna be one of those nights. It's gonna be one of those. I was supposed to be working today. This is actually why I'm creating this podcast, because you know me, I'm stereotypically late with posting, but today I got the out. And isn't that the best thing in the world when you're working? This usually happens with menial jobs, I feel like, right? Which, I hope a lot of you guys don't have to work. But me, I work a lot of menial jobs, stuff like movers, right? Laborer on like a construction site, right? Food and beverage attendant at like a school or something like that, right? So all these jobs, sometimes you'll get alerts, right? And they'll be like, yo, you don't have to come in. And so today I got it. I got one of those. And I will say, it feels amazing as an adult to get a snow day. It feels amazing as an adult to get a snow day, because that's the one thing from your childhood that you'll never get again for most adults, right? You're always having to work. If anything, you work from home remotely. My two roommates it's like 9 o'clock right now. They're still working, okay? Because they work remotely. Me, I get paid half of what they do, so when I get off, I get off. This is the best thing in the world. This isn't just a blizzard. This is a boozy blizzard. I'm happy about it. This is a interesting day, man. Yeah, the snow is coming down, bro. It really is coming down. It's kind of crazy. I think we've learned a little bit from last week or 2 weeks ago, the snow that happened back then, and all the different fuck ups that happened with the city. A couple people even like passed away. There were cars buried under shit. Mamdani and the government, they're doing what they can, but things are just hard, man. It's crazy. And supposedly this one is going to be even worse than the one last time. So I want to see what they're going to be talking about this time when it comes to the city and this blizzard, because this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. And you know what? A lot of people want to come at Mamdani too when it comes to what he's been doing with the city and this, that, and the third. Obviously, we have the whole property tax situation that is going on, right? Which has a lot of people a little anxious, me included. I'm not a property owner in New York City, but at the same time, it's a high stakes bet. So let's see how he does with this whole snow thing and see what he was talking about earlier today.
Snowfall will become more moderate as Monday progresses, tapering off around 8 p.m. In total, this storm is projected to drop between 18 and 24 inches across New York City, coming up to 28 inches in certain areas. New Yorkers should also expect dangerous winds. Later today, they are predicted to reach 35 miles per hour, with peak speeds of 40 miles per hour and 60 mile per hour isolated gusts occurring tomorrow morning around 8 a.m.
Yeah, they're not playing.
These are blizzard conditions. New York City has not faced a storm of this scale in the last decade. As a result, we expect to see moderate coastal flooding of up to 2.5 feet during high tide.
This is the crazy shit that they've been talking about. They're talking about flooding. Like, that's how you know it's bad, when it's not just snowstorms and like, oh, we got to dig out cars. Bro, they're talking about flooding. This is when the whole New York and Manhattan is on an island thing actually becomes dangerous. Can you imagine? Flooding in general, Hurricane Sandy I was here for, is bad. But flooding and a blizzard is insane. I'll be honest, I've been here for a lot of like New York City monuments, I guess you can say, like monumental events, right? So Sandy Hook was one, Occupy Wall Street was one, the whole George Floyd chaos that was happening, right? And like Chinatown and Manhattan, that was a whole nother thing. I think this is another one. For sure.
The chance of it increasing to 3 feet along Staten Island, the Rockaways, and the Battery. If you are in a coastal area that normally floods during tide cycles, you may see flooding. Please stay alert and make sure to move cars ahead of high tide to higher ground. If you live in a basement apartment, Notify NYC has a special category for you. You can sign up for the basement alert group at nyc.gov/notify.
Dude, can you imagine if your basement gets flooded in this? Having a basement apartment sucks already. I've had basement apartments before. They're cool because you get more room and stuff like that. But, they still kind of suck because they can get cold and it's not great. But having a basement apartment during this shit is like, fucking Christ, man. Because this snow is going to be 2 feet. There's supposed to be 2 feet, possibly more than 2 feet. So if you're in a basement apartment, there's already snow above your window that you use to get fresh air. So if we're looking at it like how a person in the basement lives, you're already underwater, bro. You're already underwater. This is bad, man. This is bad. They've been doing a lot of really interesting stuff, though. I think because they learned from last time, right? So they had a lot of advocacy when it came to homeless people and getting homeless people off the street. Unfortunately, there are still some homeless people who, no matter what, they just don't want to leave the streets. But I think people learned about how dire it was last time, that maybe things would be better this time. They also seem to have additional things, even more warming centers and warming buses. So this is huge, and this is where tax dollars go to, which is why I kind of brought this up, because I think this whole entire thing is very, very interesting, and it kind of plays into this whole thing that Mamdani has with Hochul right now.
We've activated additional high water rescue teams should flooding grow dire, and DEP will also be inspecting catch basins to make sure that water can drain properly. If you see a clogged catch basin, please call 311 to prevent street flooding. Additionally, temperatures dropping into the 20s overnight will result in slippery streets, sidewalks, and extremely hazardous conditions across our city. Due to these factors, we are declaring a state of emergency and instituting a travel ban starting at 9 p.m. this evening and ending at 12 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, and this is how you know this shit was bad. Like I said, man, my job was literally like, yo, if you don't want to come in, you don't have to come in. It was funny. Like, as soon as they said it, I cut them off. I was like, it's funny you bring that up because I was not going to come in the first place. And I'm glad that I took them up on their shit because, yo, like, I've been through a lot in New York City and travel bans are not common in any way, shape, or form at all. Like, at all, bro. They are not common. I can't think of the last time where they shut down everything. Like, this is everything. I was even looking into it, looking at my old commute and what it would be today if I just decided to go to work, which I'm not doing. Come on now. They don't pay me enough for that. But the main thing is they cut off, I ride the Select bus, right? To and from work a lot of times. They cut off the Select bus, right? Pretty much all the subways are done. Like, they really, really shut this shit down, bro. New York doesn't shut down for anything. They legitimately shut this shit down. I think the only thing running right now are like the full-on main lines just to get some people home, like me, if I was, riding around. But apparently, like, all the bridges, like any place where a crazy disaster could happen because of this snow is completely shut down. So all the bridges and everything, it's all done. It's all done. I don't even know. I think there were probably some people who came into work today that work at my job. I don't even know why they did. I don't even know how they would be able to get home. This shit is crazy.
The state of emergency closes the streets, highways, and bridges of New York City for all traffic, cars, trucks, scooters, and e-bikes, with some specific exemptions for essential and emergency movement. We are asking New Yorkers to avoid all non-essential travel. Please, for your safety, stay home, stay inside, and stay off the roads.
And this is facts too, man. He said non-essential, like stay home. I mean this for our DoorDash drivers as well too, bro. Like, stay the fuck home, bro. I've been somebody who was a DoorDash person, Uber Eats person and everything. I know how it is. You want to make your money. Tips are probably through the roof right now. Your shit is probably lighting up right now. Do not go outside. Because one thing I've learned being one of those drivers is that whatever money you get from today is going to have to last you for the next like 5 or 6 days, right? Because whenever you work on a day like this where it's crazy out, where there's rain or sleet, snow, whatever the fuck, it's gonna stall you or it's gonna delay you so that you can't work the next day. Like whether it's your equipment breaking down, whether it's all your clothes getting soaked. Remember, you're broke, so there's a reason why you worked in something this crazy. So if something happens to your equipment or your clothes or whatever, it's not something you could easily just fix, right? If you're in that station in life, which I have been in, so I know this shit. So to all the homies right now, bro, that spicy tuna roll can sit right fucking there. These people need to make some Campbell soup at their house. Stay the fuck home and stay safe, man. Come on now. Don't do it.
Hazardous conditions put delivery workers, drivers, and restaurant staff at risk. If you can do so, please look out for your fellow New Yorkers and prepare meals at home until the weather improves.
Goddamn right.
While the continuity of our children's education is of the utmost importance to ensure the safety of students, parents, and teachers throughout this storm, schools will be closed tomorrow. This will be New York City's first.
Now, I will say, people want to talk about Mamdani all the time, and I will say this is how Mamdani gets the youth vote. These kids won't be able to vote for God knows how long, but you know what? This is something they're going to remember. I don't know if you know this. If you're an older person, kids don't get snow days anymore. Like not how we used to. Remember, you used to, see snow outside. You wouldn't even care. It wouldn't even be on the news the day before. You just see snow outside, and then you'd run to the TV, and you're waiting for your name and your school's name and everything to go down. There's a little scrolly thing on the news, right? And you love it. As soon as you see your name, I'm going sledding for 3 hours today. That shit does not happen. They go, yo, it's terrible outside. These kids still need to learn remotely. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. It's cold out here for these young kids, man. No third spaces, no snow days. How do you have a childhood? I don't know. So shout out to Mamdani for hooking them up with one.
First old school snow day since 2019. The state requires us to conduct 180 days of education in a calendar year. However, we believe that there are a unique set of extenuating circumstances for tomorrow's education. We shared this with the state education commissioner earlier this morning, and she has granted us a waiver for which we are incredibly thankful. And to kids across New York City, you have a very serious mission if you choose to accept it. Stay cozy. Across the city, other non-essential city offices and services, including our libraries, will also be closed to the public. The Staten Island and New York City ferries will discontinue service beginning at 5 p.m. this evening and restart late Monday morning, rather. Alternate side parking will be suspended tomorrow. Our agency teams have been working around the clock to ready our city for this storm.
And he's saying that they spent a lot of time trying to ready the city for the storm. That's not a lie. You can see it now. Like there's even people like kind of prepped outside doing certain things. And that's not just in Manhattan. That's in Queens as well too. I've already seen a couple trucks with the whole scooper shovel thing in the front, ready to go either for tonight or in the early morning. Sorry about that, beer burps. But I think this is the reason I'm bringing this whole shit up is because, again, this brings into the whole property tax thing that's going on with him and Hochul, right? The city versus the state, right? New York's the biggest city in the country as far as, revenue and financially, right? We're the economic capital of the country and possibly the world, if you want to, go in about it like that, right? And we need a lot of things to happen. A lot of people, when he was talking about this whole property tax thing, and it's either tax the rich or tax regular middle class property owners and stuff like that, which obviously will cause major problems for not just those property owners, but for everybody, because that means that a lot of rents would be going up as well too. The cost of living would greatly affect the affordability that Mamdani has promised that he would bring back to this city. But it's an important thing because I think a lot of people are online freaking out about all this stuff. And they're like, yo, this dude promised this and that and da-da-da. Why does it have to be you punish the middle class people or you punish the rich people? Why can't we do this, do this? And, one thing is he has cut down a lot of spending. Like a lot of people are like, why is he trying to tax more? Why can't he just cut back on spending? They've cut back the most that they could on spending. And it's allowed them at least about $7 billion that they've cut back on spending. So everything else that he would need to cut additionally would literally hinder the city from functioning the way that it should function, and would hinder the city from helping out the people that they need to be helping out, especially when it comes to situations like this, right? People want to talk about government waste, and taxes, but a lot of times it's not that taxes are, or that the government is, necessarily wasting money. They're just putting money in the wrong places. And those can be two separate things, right? If we're talking federally, right, the government puts all our money in the military, right, and then everything else can kind of fall by the wayside, right? That's not necessarily wasting the taxes, because we do need a military, but they just need to be allotted correctly. I think they've kind of figured out how to, make their basic budget for the city, and that's one thing that he brought to Hochul a few days ago and everything. But now I think they're also realizing, like, we still need more. Like, the way we're allocating our money is important, and that's huge, right? But there is a massive deficit that Adams left us with. We still need more money, and that has to come from either the rich or the poor, and the poor are going through enough, so I think it should be the rich. And it's just, this is a really interesting thing, man. I wonder what's going to happen. I wish him the best of luck as far as all this stuff happening. And I think maybe this situation, this blizzard, is kind of the best timing he ever could have had, because this will display what we need taxes for, right? Situations like this are what we need taxes for. So hopefully this kind of hits home, and I think hopefully this will have a lot of New Yorkers, whether New York State people or people in the city, look at Hochul a little bit closer and really pay attention to the decisions that she is making as a governor of how to use the funds in New York City. So we'll see about that, man. We'll see about that. But enough about my favorite mayor. Let's go into the real reason why I decided to come out and make this pod so soon. That's because everybody has been eating me up on the internet over this Comics Explained bullshit.